The biggest lie in business is that you need more time. We are taught that significant growth requires long, slow, Herculean effort, a belief that keeps many entrepreneurs trapped in a cycle of being perpetually busy but never truly productive. What if the opposite were true? What if immense progress was possible in short, concentrated bursts of intelligent action? This book is your tactical playbook for these high-impact sprints. It provides a robust framework of proven 72-hour projects designed to generate immediate and measurable results, optimize your operations, and build a powerful engine for scalable long-term growth. It is time to stop planning to grow and start engineering it, one weekend at a time. The Weekend Project, 72-Hour Tricks to Optimize Your Business for Growth, written and published by Success Attraction Formula. Chapter 1. Your 72-Hour High-Impact Growth Plan. Imagine your business is a powerful car, capable of incredible speed and performance. It has a finely tuned engine, a full tank of gas, and a sleek, aerodynamic design. But for some reason, it is sputtering along in the slow lane, barely moving forward while other, less impressive vehicles speed past. You know the potential is there, but you're completely overwhelmed by the complexity of the machine. Is the problem the engine timing, the fuel mixture, the tire alignment, the onboard computer? You have a mental list of 100 different things you could check, improve, or fix. The sheer number of options is paralyzing. So, you do what most people do when faced with overwhelming complexity. You do a little bit of everything. One day you tinker with the engine, the next you polish the chrome, the day after you check the tire pressure. You are constantly busy, always working on the car, but you never make significant focused progress on the one critical thing that is truly holding it back from unleashing its full power. This is the debilitating state of analysis paralysis, an unfocused action that traps so many passionate and hard-working entrepreneurs. The problem is almost never a lack of effort or a shortage of ideas. It is a lack of clarity and concentrated force. You are surrounded by a dense fog of competing priorities, endless to-do lists, well-intentioned advice from every corner, and the constant nagging feeling that you should be doing more of everything all at once. This leads to spreading your most precious resources, your time, your focus, and your energy, so thinly across so many different tasks that you fail to make a meaningful impact on any of them. You end up confusing activity with progress, working tirelessly just to stay in the same place. This feeling of being perpetually overwhelmed and ineffective is one of the primary causes of founder burnout and business stagnation. It is a vicious cycle where the feeling of being behind makes you rush, and rushing leads to unfocused work, which puts you even further behind. It can feel impossible to escape. The transformative solution is to embrace the immense power of the 72-hour constraint. This is a radical mindset shift that forces you to abandon the illusion of multitasking and instead channel all of your available energy into a single, high-impact project over the course of one focused weekend. The magic of a tight, immovable deadline is that it manufactures clarity. When you only have 72 hours, you do not have the luxury of worrying about 100 different things. You are forced by the constraint to ask one ruthlessly simple question. What is the single biggest bottleneck in my business right now? And what one project can I complete this weekend to permanently solve or significantly improve it? This approach turns the pressure of time from an enemy into your greatest ally. It is a direct application of Parkinson's law, which states that work expands to fill the time allotted for its completion. By dramatically shrinking the time, you force yourself to be ruthlessly efficient and focused. This liberates you from the fog of endless possibilities and gives you a clear, tangible, and achievable mission. The goal is not to fix your entire business in a weekend, but to make one strategic, targeted improvement that creates a lasting positive impact long after Sunday night. The core principle behind this approach is the theory of constraints, which posits that any complex system, including a business, has one single limiting factor or bottleneck that holds back the performance of the entire system. Your mission as the business leader is to identify and eliminate that single bottleneck. The first actionable step is what we call the Friday night diagnostic. On Friday evening, you must step back and look at your business not as a series of chaotic tasks, but as a simple, linear journey for your customer. You need to map this journey, which typically has 5 stages. Awareness, how do people first hear about you? Consideration, how do they learn more and evaluate your offer? Purchase, what is the process of becoming a paying customer? Retention, what experience keeps them coming back? And referral, what encourages them to tell others? At each stage, you must look for the biggest leak or drop-off point. Are you not getting enough initial traffic? Awareness? Are website visitors not signing up for your list? Consideration? Are people abandoning their shopping carts? Purchase? Are customers buying once but never again? Retention? Your one and only goal for Friday night is to identify the single biggest leak in this pipeline. That bottleneck is your mission for the weekend. The second step is the Saturday morning blueprint. Once you have identified your single bottleneck with clarity, you must design a specific, tangible project to address it. The key here is to define a clear and unambiguous done state. What will exist on Sunday night that does not exist now? This cannot be a vague goal like improve my website. It must be a concrete deliverable. If your bottleneck is a low conversion rate on your website, your project could be redesign the homepage headline, subheadline, and primary call to action button, and write a new 3-part automated welcome email sequence. If it is a lack of repeat business, your project could be create and launch a simple points-based loyalty program and email all existing customers announcing it. You must also define your success metric. Success for this project will be a 15% increase in our website's email sign-up rate measured over the next 14 days. You must then break this project down into a clear sequence of tasks and estimate the time for each, ensuring it is realistically achievable in the hours available. The third step is the Saturday afternoon to Sunday afternoon execution sprint. This is where you enter a state of deep, focused work, turning off all distractions, email, social media, phone notifications, and focusing exclusively on executing the blueprint you created. This is not the time for new ideas, scope creep, or second-guessing your plan. The power of the blueprint is that it liberates you from having to make decisions during the execution phase, allowing you to pour all of your mental energy into the work itself. You follow the tasks you laid out, methodically checking them off one by one. This period of intense, focused work is where you will experience a surge of productivity. You will likely accomplish more in these 10 to 12 focused hours than you do in 2 weeks of normal, distracted work. This is the heart of the weekend project, converting a clear plan into tangible reality through the sheer force of concentrated effort. Let's imagine a freelance graphic designer whose bottleneck is an inconsistent flow of new clients. On Friday night, she performs her diagnostic and realizes her problem is a lack of proactive outreach. She gets 90% of her work from referrals, which are unpredictable. Her weekend project mission is to build a repeatable system for outbound client acquisition. On Saturday morning, she creates her blueprint. The done state is, a curated list of 100 ideal potential clients has been built, and a personalized outreach email has been sent to every single one of them. Her success metric is, book at least 5 introductory calls within the next 2 weeks. Her task list includes 1. Define ideal client profile. 2. Use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to build the prospect list. 3. Research each prospect for a personalization point. 4. Write a compelling, non-spammy email template. 5. Execute the outreach. On Saturday afternoon and Sunday, she executes with focus. By Sunday night, her project is complete. She has not only planted 100 seeds for potential work, but more importantly, she has built a system and a skill she can deploy anytime her pipeline runs dry. She has permanently solved her bottleneck. You have now created a plan to identify and execute a single, high-impact project in one weekend. You understand the power of constraints and focused action. But often, the biggest bottleneck for any business is simply a lack of customers. What if you could dedicate one entire weekend sprint not just to planning, but to an all-out assault on generating new leads and sales, filling your pipeline by Monday morning? How can you turn 72 hours into your most productive marketing and sales period ever? Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula. Give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 2. The Weekend Marketing and Sales Sprint. Imagine it is Friday evening. Your business has a great product, a well-designed website, and a clear vision for the future. But the pipeline of new leads is sparse, and the sales chart, if you're being honest with yourself, looks more like a flat, desolate landscape than the upward climbing rocket ship you envisioned. The pressure is mounting. You know you need to do marketing, but that phrase feels vague, overwhelming, and frankly a little terrifying. You could spend the weekend redesigning your logo, brainstorming a new slogan, attending a webinar about a new social media platform, or planning a big, elaborate marketing campaign for next quarter. You could end the weekend with a lot of new documents, a folder full of ideas, and a feeling of being busy. But you would also have the exact same number of customers you started with. You will have been busy, but you will not have moved the needle 1 inch. This is the frustrating reality for many entrepreneurs. They fall into the insidious trap of marketing-flavored activities instead of engaging in the direct, potent work of marketing and sales. They spend their time on tasks that feel productive and creative, but that are fundamentally disconnected from the only 2 metrics that truly matter for immediate growth: generating qualified leads and closing sales. They are polishing the car while it is sitting on the side of the road, completely out of gas. This often stems from a deep-seated fear of rejection. It is far more comfortable to design a new business card than it is to pick up the phone and risk someone saying no. It is easier to post on social media and hope for engagement than it is to send a direct, personalized email asking for a meeting. This avoidance is a natural human tendency, but it is fatal for a business that needs to grow right now. The transformative solution is to commit to a 72-hour weekend marketing and sales sprint. This is not about planning your marketing strategy. It is about executing it with intense, focused, and measurable action. The mindset shift is from planning to sell to actively selling. The entire non-negotiable goal of this weekend project is to end Sunday night with more real, qualified leads or more actual sales than you had on Friday afternoon. It is about choosing 1 or 2 direct, results-oriented activities and pursuing them with a relentless, singular focus. This sprint cuts through all the noise, procrastination, and fear by forcing you to engage in the specific actions that directly produce revenue. It is about finding a gas station and filling the tank, not just waxing the hood. This intense focus often creates more tangible business results in 1 weekend than months of passive, unfocused marketing. It is a boot camp for building your sales confidence. The core principle of a successful sprint is choosing a direct outreach channel. While long-term, inbound strategies like SEO and content marketing are crucial for sustainable growth, they do not produce immediate results. A weekend sprint demands a channel that allows you to connect with potential customers right now. This means focusing on channels that involve one-to-one or one-to-few communication. The first step on Friday night is to choose your weapon. You must select 1 single direct outreach channel to focus on for the entire weekend. This could be a targeted cold email campaign, a direct outreach campaign on a professional network like LinkedIn, a personalized video outreach campaign using a tool like Loom, or even picking up the phone and making sales calls. The key is to choose only one. Trying to do 3 different types of outreach will dilute your focus, prevent you from getting good at any of them, and sabotage your results. For most businesses, a targeted email or LinkedIn campaign offers the best balance of scalability and personalization for a weekend sprint. The second step on Saturday morning is to build your target list and craft your message. Your success over the weekend will depend almost entirely on the quality of this step. You must build a highly specific, curated list of people or companies that are a perfect fit for what you offer. This is not about buying a generic list of thousands of emails. It is about manually researching and identifying a list of 100 ideal prospects. Once you have your list, you must craft a message that is short, personal, and focused on them, not you. The worst outreach messages start with, "My name is," and talk all about the sender's company. A great outreach message starts by acknowledging something specific about the recipient, a recent accomplishment, an article they wrote, a shared connection, or a challenge their industry is facing, and then concisely bridges to how you can provide specific value to them. Your message must end with a single, clear, low-friction call to action, such as, "Are you open to a brief 15-minute call next week to explore how this might apply to your team?" The third step is the execution block, from Saturday afternoon through Sunday. This is where you put in the focused work of sending your messages and tracking the results. The goal is volume and consistency. You must commit to getting through your entire target list of 100 prospects. This is where most people fail. They send 10 or 20 emails, get no immediate response, and give up, concluding that the channel doesn't work. A sprint requires the discipline to see the plan through to completion. It is critical to personalize each message, even if you are working from a template. A single line of genuine personalization. "I really enjoyed your recent podcast interview on the future of remote work," can increase your response rate by 10 times compared to a generic copy and pasted message. As you send, you must also track. A simple spreadsheet with columns for name, company, date sent, replied, and notes is all you need. This allows you to manage follow-ups, which are critical. A simple, polite follow-up message sent 3 to 4 days after the initial outreach can often double your total response rate. Let's look at 2 different scenarios. First, a B2B software company whose product helps businesses manage their social media. Their weekend sprint focuses on LinkedIn outreach. On Saturday morning, they build a list of 100 marketing managers at companies in their target industry who have recently posted about social media challenges. They craft a connection request message that is not a sales pitch, but a simple, "Hi name, I see we're both in the B2B marketing space, and I was impressed with your company's recent campaign. Would be great to connect." Once the connection is accepted, they send a follow-up message that offers a free, valuable resource, such as, "I've just put together a short guide on the 5 biggest mistakes companies make with their social media ads. Thought it might be useful for you. Would you like me to send it over?" This value-first approach initiates warm conversations. The second scenario is a wedding photographer. Her sprint is a cold email campaign. She builds a list of 100 wedding planners in her region. Her email is highly personal, complimenting a specific wedding they recently organized that she saw on their blog. The floral arrangements at the Smith wedding were stunning. She then briefly introduces her work with a link to a curated gallery. Her call to action is an offer to be added to their list of recommended vendors. By Sunday night, she has started dozens of new relationships with key industry players who can send her business for years to come. A weekend sprint is a powerful tool for injecting immediate momentum into your business. It is a repeatable system for generating leads and sales on demand. But getting a lead is only the first step. What happens after you get their attention? What if you are successfully driving traffic to your website, but those visitors are leaving without taking any action? How can you dedicate a weekend to transforming your website from a simple brochure into a powerful, automated engine for converting interested visitors into paying customers? Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 3. Optimizing your customer conversion engine. Imagine you have done the hard work. You have spent a weekend on a marketing and sales sprint, and to your delight, it worked. A steady stream of people are visiting your website every single day. They are the right people, your ideal customers, actively looking for a solution just like yours. They land on your homepage, intrigued by your ad or email. They click around a bit, reading a few sentences, and then they leave. They vanish back into the digital ether, and you never hear from them again. Your website is getting traffic, but it is not producing results. It is like owning a beautiful, well-stocked retail store where dozens of people walk in, browse the aisles, admire the products, and then walk straight out the door without ever making a purchase or even speaking to a cashier. This is one of the most frustrating and costly problems a business can face, and it is known as having a leaky bucket. You are successfully pouring potential customers into the top of your funnel through your marketing efforts, but they are leaking out through holes in your website before they can ever become a lead or a sale. The common reaction to this problem is often to assume you just need more traffic. So you spend more time and money on marketing, pouring even more water into the leaky bucket, which only results in more waste and more frustration. The real problem is not the quantity or quality of your traffic. It is the experience those visitors have once they arrive. Your website is failing at its single most important job, to convert a visitor's initial interest into a tangible, valuable action. Every visitor who leaves without converting is a lost opportunity and wasted marketing spend. The transformative solution is to dedicate a weekend to re-architecting your website as a customer conversion engine. This means shifting your perspective entirely. You must stop thinking of your website as a digital brochure, an art project, or a repository of information, and start seeing it as a carefully designed, step-by-step system with one single purpose: to guide a visitor from their first click to a desired outcome. This outcome could be joining your email list, signing up for a free trial, scheduling a consultation, or making a purchase. A conversion-focused website is not about flashy design, clever animations, or verbose copy. It is about clarity, simplicity, and a relentless focus on making it as easy and compelling as possible for a user to take the next logical step in their journey with you. This weekend project is about plugging the leaks in your bucket so that you can capture the full value of the traffic you are already getting, often doubling or tripling your results without spending a single extra dollar on marketing. The core principle behind building a conversion engine is the systematic elimination of friction. Friction is any element of your website that causes confusion, frustration, doubt, or uncertainty for a visitor, causing them to abandon their task. Your mission for the weekend is to become a friction detective, hunting down and removing every single obstacle that stands between your visitor and your conversion goal. The first step, on Friday night, is to define your one primary conversion goal and conduct a diagnostic. While you may have several things you want a user to do, like follow you on social media or read your blog, you must choose the single most important one for this project. For most businesses, this is capturing a lead, usually by getting an email address. The second part of your Friday diagnostic is to conduct a 5-second test. Open up your homepage and look at it for just 5 seconds. In that time, can you clearly and immediately answer 3 questions? 1. What does this company offer? 2. How will it make my life better? 3. What am I supposed to do next? If the answers are not instantly obvious, you have identified your first and most critical point of friction, a lack of clarity in your value proposition. The second step is the Saturday conversion blueprint. Based on your Friday diagnosis, you will now design a series of specific, high-impact changes to your website. The most critical area to focus on is the section above the fold on your homepage, the part of the screen that is visible without scrolling. This is your digital first impression and where the conversion battle is won or lost. Your blueprint should include several key improvements. First, rewrite your main headline. A great headline is not clever, it is clear. It should state the primary benefit of your product in simple, direct language. Instead of a headline like "Synergizing the Future of Work," a better headline would be "The project management tool that helps your team finish projects on time." Second, add a supportive subheadline that provides a little more detail or overcomes a key objection. Third, strengthen your call to action, CTA. This is the primary button or link you want users to click. The text on the button should be specific and action-oriented. Submit is a weak CTA. Get your free marketing plan is a strong CTA. Fourth, ensure your primary CTA button is visually prominent, using a contrasting color that makes it the most obvious thing to click on the page. Finally, add social proof near your CTA. A customer testimonial, logos of companies you've worked with, or a star rating to build instant trust and reduce perceived risk. The third step is the Sunday implementation and simplification sprint. On Sunday, you will execute the changes you blueprinted on Saturday. This is also the time to be absolutely ruthless about simplification. Your goal is to remove every single element from your homepage that does not directly contribute to your primary conversion goal. Every element on your page should either be helping the user understand your value proposition or guiding them toward the call to action. If an element does not serve one of those two purposes, it is friction, and it should be deleted. This often means removing distracting social media links from the header, cutting down the number of items in your main navigation, eliminating vague jargon from your copy, and replacing generic stock photos with authentic images of your product or customers. This focus on addition by subtraction is one of the most powerful principles of conversion design. A cleaner, simpler page with a single clear path almost always converts better than a cluttered one with too many options. A crucial part of this sprint is to test the entire experience on a mobile phone, as this is where most of your visitors likely are, and where friction is felt most acutely. Let's look at a scenario for an online store that sells handmade leather bags. On Friday, the owner identifies that her main conversion goal is getting a sale, but her biggest leak is a high shopping cart abandonment rate. Her weekend project is to optimize the checkout process. On Saturday, she blueprints the changes. 1. Remove the requirement for customers to create an account before checkout, offering a prominent guest checkout option instead. 2. Reduce the number of form fields in the checkout process from 15 to the absolute essential 7. 3. Add trust signals like security logos, Visa, MasterCard, SSL secured, and a powerful customer testimonial directly onto the checkout page. 4. Ensure the complete purchase button is large, colorful, and instantly visible. On Sunday, she uses her e-commerce platform settings to implement these changes. By Sunday night, she has removed the immense friction of forced account creation, simplified the form-filling process, and reduced the perceived risk for the buyer, making it significantly easier and safer for a customer to complete their purchase. She has plugged her biggest leak. You have now dedicated a weekend to transforming your website from a passive brochure into an active conversion machine, designed to capture the value of every visitor. But this brings up a deeper, more profitable question. Are you capturing the maximum possible value from each conversion? What if you could make small, strategic changes to your pricing and your offers that could dramatically increase your profit from every single customer without needing to find any new ones? How can you uncover the hidden money that is likely sitting dormant inside your business right now? Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula. Give this video a like and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 4. Unlocking Hidden Profit and Pricing Levers. Imagine you are a treasure hunter. You have spent months planning an expedition, traveling to a remote island and hacking your way through a dense jungle, all in search of buried gold. You dig for weeks with little success. But what if the entire time the most valuable treasure was not in some hidden chest, but was right there in your camp, mixed in with your supplies, disguised as ordinary rocks? What if the map you were following was leading you to the wrong place entirely, while immense wealth was sitting right under your feet, completely overlooked? This is the exact situation most businesses find themselves in. They are on a relentless, exhausting hunt for the treasure of more new customers. They pour all of their time, energy, and money into marketing and sales, hacking their way through the dense jungle of competition, believing that the only path to more profit is to find more people. In doing so, they completely overlook the two most powerful and easily accessible profit levers that are sitting right inside their own business: their pricing strategy and the potential value of their existing customers. They leave staggering amounts of money on the table by underpricing their offerings, failing to present their value effectively, and completely neglecting the opportunity to sell more to the happy customers they have already earned. This singular focus on acquisition, while ignoring optimization, is a massive strategic error. The transformative solution is a weekend project focused on a simple, powerful mindset shift, from "I need more customers" to "I need more revenue per customer." You must stop thinking only about the top of your funnel and dedicate a weekend to optimizing the value of every single transaction. This involves a deep dive into your pricing, your offers, and the way you present them to your customers. The incredible truth is that a few small, strategic changes to your pricing structure or the addition of a simple upsell can often have a more dramatic and immediate impact on your bottom line than months of prospecting for new clients. This weekend project is about finding and polishing the gold that is already in your camp. It is often the single most profitable 72 hours in a company's life. The first principle to master in this profit sprint is the psychology of pricing. Most businesses price their products using a simple cost-plus model. They calculate their costs and add a certain percentage markup. This is logical, but it leaves all the value on the table. The transformative principle is value-based pricing. You do not charge based on what your service costs you to deliver. You charge based on the value and the outcome your service delivers to your customer. The first actionable step on Friday night is to calculate this value. Ask yourself, if your customer successfully uses your product, what is that worth to them? Does it save them 10 hours of work a month? Does it increase their sales by 20%? Does it solve a painful $5,000 problem for them? Once you have quantified this value, you will likely realize that your current price is a bargain, and it will give you the confidence to charge what you are truly worth. The second, and perhaps most powerful, actionable step is to implement a tiered pricing structure. Instead of offering your product or service at one single price point, you will create 3 distinct options over the weekend: a good tier, a better tier, and a best tier. This is a profound psychological hack. The good tier should be a basic, stripped-down version for the most price-sensitive customers. The best tier should be a premium, all-inclusive version with a very high price. Its primary purpose is to make the middle tier look like an incredible deal by comparison. This is a psychological principle called price anchoring. The middle better tier is where you should package your most popular features and the solution you want most people to buy. By presenting options, you shift the customer's question from, should I buy this, yes or no, to, which one of these should I buy? For a software company, this might look like a basic, pro, and enterprise plan. For a consultant, it could be a silver, gold, and platinum package. Designing and updating your website to reflect these 3 tiers is a perfect weekend project. The third actionable step is to create a simple upsell or cross-sell within your sales process. It is infinitely easier to sell more to a customer who is already in the process of buying than it is to find a new customer. An upsell is an offer to upgrade to a better, more expensive version of the product they are considering. A cross-sell is an offer to add a related, complementary product to their purchase. The key is to make this offer at the point of sale when the customer's buying intent is at its peak. For an e-commerce store, this is the "you might also like" section on a product page or the special offer pop-up when an item is added to the cart. If a customer is buying a camera, a cross-sell would be a memory card and a camera bag. For a service business, if a client is buying a website design package, an upsell could be an offer to add a monthly SEO maintenance plan for a recurring fee. Your weekend project could be to identify one logical upsell or cross-sell for your main product and build it directly into your checkout or proposal process. A fourth, more advanced trick is to implement a one-time offer or OTO. This is a special, time-sensitive offer that is presented to a customer immediately after they have completed their initial purchase. This leverages the psychological peak of post-purchase excitement and trust. The customer has just had a positive transaction with you, and their wallet is already out. At this moment, you can present them with an exclusive, high-value offer that is not available anywhere else. For example, after someone buys your online course for $100, the thank you page could say, "Wait, as a new customer, get lifetime access to our advanced masterclass for a one-time payment of just $50. This offer will not be shown again." This can dramatically increase the average lifetime value of each new customer you acquire. Let's look at a real-world scenario. A freelance web designer currently charges a single flat fee of $2,000 for a standard website. Her weekend project is to revamp her entire pricing and offer structure. On Saturday, she designs 3 new packages: Package A, the starter site, is a simple template-based site for $1,500. Package C, the ultimate e-commerce store, is a complex custom-built site for $5,000. Her target offering, Package B, is the business growth site, which includes the website plus basic SEO and an email list integration, priced at $3,000. The high price of Package C makes Package B look very reasonable. She then adds a simple upsell to all her proposals. Add our launch content package, 3 blog posts and social media announcements, for an additional $500. By Monday morning, she has updated her website and proposal template. The very next client she speaks to, instead of being offered a single $2,000 option, chooses the $3,000 Package B and the $500 upsell, instantly increasing the value of that single client by 75%. You have now spent a weekend finding and unlocking the hidden profit that was already inside your business. But as you grow your revenue, you will inevitably find that you are also growing your workload. You are becoming busier than ever, drowning in a sea of manual, repetitive tasks. What if you could build a system this weekend that works for you, even when you're sleeping? How can you effectively clone yourself using simple, powerful, and readily available automation systems? Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula. Give this video a like and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 5. Building your automation and operations system. Imagine you had the perfect assistant. This assistant works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They never get tired, they never complain, they never make a mistake, and they perform their duties with flawless precision every single time. Best of all, they cost next to nothing. Does this sound like a fantasy? It is not. This assistant exists, it is available to you right now, and its name is automation. It is the single most powerful tool for reclaiming your time, scaling your operations, and finally breaking free from the daily grind of running your business. This stands in stark contrast to the reality faced by most entrepreneurs, who are trapped in a state of being the busy founder. As the business grows, they become the central hub for every single task. They are the one answering the same customer service questions over and over again via email. They are the one manually posting content to social media every day. They are the one creating and sending invoices and then chasing them down when they are overdue. They are the one personally onboarding every new client with the same repetitive sequence of steps. They are working 80 hours a week, not on high-level strategy or growing the business, but on low-value, repetitive, administrative tasks. They have not built a business. They have built a high-stress, low-paying job for themselves, and they are the sole employee. This is a direct path to burnout, and it puts an absolute ceiling on how much the business can ever grow. The transformative solution is a weekend project dedicated to a fundamental mindset shift from I have to do everything myself, to how can I build a system to do this for me? The goal of this weekend is to intentionally design and build an operations system that handles the repetitive work, freeing you up to focus on the high-value strategic tasks that only you, the founder, can do. This is the process of moving from working in your business to working on your business. By dedicating a single weekend to building just a few simple automations, you can permanently remove hours of recurring work from your plate every single week, effectively cloning yourself and creating the operational leverage needed for true scale. The first step in this weekend sprint is the Friday task audit. You cannot automate what you do not measure. For one full day on Friday, you must keep a detailed log of every single task you perform. Use a simple notebook or a spreadsheet. Next to each task, write down how much time it took you to complete it. Then, categorize each task as either high-value, strategic work like talking to customers, developing new products, or forming partnerships, or low-value, repetitive work like data entry, scheduling, or responding to common inquiries. At the end of the day, you will have a clear, data-driven picture of exactly where your most precious resource, your time, is being wasted. The tasks in the low-value, high-time category are your primary targets for automation. The second step on Saturday morning is to choose your automation tools. The core principle to understand is that you do not need to be a programmer to build incredibly powerful automations. A new generation of no-code tools acts as a form of digital glue, allowing you to connect the web applications you already use every day. The most famous of these is Zapier, but there are others like Make or IFTTT. These tools work on a simple, when this happens, do that logic. For example, when I get a new sale in my payment processor, then automatically add the customer's email to my email marketing list. Your weekend project should involve signing up for a free or trial version of one of these tools and familiarizing yourself with its interface. The goal is to see how it can connect the apps you already use, such as your email, your calendar, your e-commerce platform, and your project management software. The third step, which will form the bulk of your weekend's work, is to build your first few automated workflows, or ZAPs, as they are called in Zapier. You should aim to build 3 high-impact automations based on your Friday task audit. Here are 3 common and powerful recipes. Recipe 1 is automating lead nurturing. The trigger is, when a new person fills out the contact form on my website, the action is, automatically add their name and email to a specific list in my email marketing software, and then trigger a pre-written welcome email sequence to be sent to them. This ensures every new lead gets an immediate professional response without you lifting a finger. Recipe 2 is automating your social media presence. The trigger is, when I publish a new blog post on my website, the action is, automatically create a post with the title, link, and featured image and share it on my LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook pages. This saves you from the manual work of cross-posting your content. Recipe 3 is automating client onboarding. The trigger is when a new client pays their initial invoice in my payment system. The action is automatically create a new folder for them in Google Drive, create a new project for them in my project management tool, and send them a welcome email containing a link to their client portal and a scheduling link for their kickoff call. Beyond software, automation is also a mindset of systematization. The fourth part of your sprint should be focused on creating templates and checklists. For any complex task that you still have to do manually, your goal is to create a standard operating procedure, or SOP. This can be as simple as a detailed checklist in a document. If you regularly perform a complex task like editing a video or publishing a podcast, document every single step, from file setup to final export settings. This has 2 benefits. First, it ensures you never miss a step and maintain high quality. Second, and more importantly, it makes the task delegable. This checklist is a training document you can hand to a future freelancer or employee, allowing them to execute the task to your exact standards. Your weekend project could include creating just 1 or 2 detailed checklists for your most common, complex manual processes. Let's consider a small consulting business owner. Her Friday task audit reveals she spends on average 10 hours every single week on low-value administrative tasks. Her weekend project is to reclaim that time. On Saturday and Sunday, she implements her automations. She sets up a scheduling tool like Calendly to eliminate the endless back-and-forth emails of finding a meeting time. She creates a professional proposal template using a tool like PandaDoc, which allows her to create a new proposal in minutes instead of hours. She then uses Zapier to connect her payment processor to her project management tool, so that as soon as a client pays, their project is automatically set up and a welcome packet is sent. By Sunday night, she has built a system that will save her over 40 hours of work every month, time she can now dedicate to finding new clients and serving her existing ones better. You have now optimized your marketing, sales, pricing, and operations with these targeted weekend sprints. You are working smarter, not just harder. But how do you ensure that these short bursts of intense progress translate into lasting long-term growth? How do you turn a series of successful, disconnected weekends into a powerful and consistent rhythm for building your business for years to come? Remember to subscribe to Success Attraction Formula, give this video a like, and comment with your personal opinions or suggestions for channel development. Chapter 6: Turning a Weekend into Lasting Growth. A single focused weekend can create a breakthrough for your business. It can fix your biggest leak, fill your sales pipeline, or reclaim hours of your time. But the ultimate goal is not just a one-time fix. A series of focused weekends, stacked one on top of the other, can build an empire. The true power of this methodology is not in any single project, but in its potential to become your company's fundamental way of operating. It is about moving from isolated bursts of productivity to a consistent, compounding rhythm of strategic execution and growth. However, one of the most common problems entrepreneurs face after a period of intense focus is the rebound effect. Imagine you have just completed a highly productive weekend sprint. You feel energized, accomplished, and in control. You have a clear sense of momentum. But then Monday morning arrives, and with it comes the flood of emails, the unexpected fires that need to be put out, and the demands of day-to-day operations. The chaos of the regular work week takes over. By Wednesday, the clarity and focus of the weekend feel like a distant memory. The old habits of reactive, unfocused work creep back in. The weekend project becomes a fond memory of a time you were on your game, rather than what it should be, the starting point of a new, more effective trajectory for your entire business. The transformative solution is to consciously move from viewing these as isolated projects to installing them as a continuous operating rhythm for your business. The mindset shift is from "I did a weekend project" to "I run my business using weekend projects." The goal is to build a system where these sprints are not a special occasion, but a regular, recurring, and scheduled part of how you operate. This is how you create the compounding effect of focused improvements over time. It is about building a personal and organizational culture of execution, where strategic progress is not something you hope for, but something you engineer with predictable regularity. This is how you turn a series of sprints into a marathon of lasting success. The first step in building this system is to adopt a 90-day planning cycle. Annual plans are often too long and abstract to be useful. A 90-day cycle, or a quarter, is the perfect time frame for strategic planning. So, at the beginning of each quarter, your first task is to set one single, overarching goal for your business. This cannot be a vague goal like increased sales. It must be a specific, measurable outcome. For example, a great 90-day goal would be launch our new online course and generate 100 sales, or reduce customer churn from 5% to 3%, or increase our website's organic traffic by 30%. This single clear goal becomes your North Star for the entire quarter. The second, actionable step is to break your 90-day goal down into a series of weekend sprints. You will take your big quarterly goal and reverse engineer the steps needed to achieve it. These steps become your weekend projects. For example, if your 90-day goal is to launch a new online course and generate 100 sales, you can break that down into 6 distinct weekend projects, spread over the 13 weeks of the quarter. Sprint 1 could be outline the complete course curriculum and validate the idea with 10 potential customers. Sprint 2 could be record and edit the first module of the course. Sprint 3 could be build the sales page and write the marketing emails. Sprint 4 could be run a pre-launch campaign to our email list. Sprint 5 could be the official launch weekend. Sprint 6 could be gather testimonials and optimize the sales page. Each project is a concrete, manageable step that directly contributes to the larger 90-day vision. The third actionable step is to treat these sprints as sacred appointments on your calendar. At the beginning of each quarter, when you have defined your sprints, you must literally open your calendar and block out the specific weekends for these projects. These are not tentative placeholders. They are non-negotiable appointments with the growth of your business. You must protect this time as fiercely as you would a meeting with your most important client. This act of scheduling transforms your good intentions into a concrete commitment. It ensures that progress on your most important strategic goals is not left to chance or whenever you have free time, but is instead a guaranteed part of your schedule. The fourth, and perhaps most important step, is to install the habit of a review and reflect session. On the Monday morning after every single weekend sprint, you must schedule 30 minutes to review the project. During this session, you will ask and answer 4 simple questions. 1. What went well? What should we continue doing? 2. What went wrong? What should we stop doing or improve? 3. What did we learn from this process? 4. Based on what we learned, what is the single biggest bottleneck we should consider attacking in our next sprint? This simple habit creates a powerful feedback loop. It ensures that you are not just executing projects, but that you are getting smarter and more effective with each one. This is the engine of continuous improvement. Let's look at the scenario of a founder of a small subscription box company. Her 90-day goal is to reduce her high customer churn rate from 6% per month down to 3%. She breaks this down into 3 weekend sprints. Sprint 1, in the first month, is the diagnostic sprint. Her project is to analyze churn data and personally call 20 past customers to find the root cause of why people are canceling. She discovers the biggest reason is that new customers feel overwhelmed and do not know how to best use the products in the box. Sprint 2, a few weeks later, is the onboarding sprint. Her project is to create a new 5-part customer onboarding email sequence that showcases creative ways to use the products. Sprint 3, in the final month, is the retention offer sprint. Her project is to build a skip-a-month feature into the customer account portal, giving customers a flexible alternative to canceling outright. By systematically identifying the problem and executing focused projects, she successfully hits her 90-day goal, creating a lasting improvement in her business's health. The ultimate weekend project, therefore, is the installation of this very system into the core of your operations. The true power is not found in any single trick or hack presented in this book. It is found in building a personal and organizational habit of focused, repeated, strategic execution. This operating rhythm is what separates businesses that merely survive from those that thrive and lead for years to come. It is a system for turning your biggest ambitions into a series of achievable, concrete steps. By mastering this rhythm, you are building not just a better, more profitable, and more scalable business, but you are also building a more focused, effective, and powerful version of yourself. We began this journey by learning how to impose a 72-hour constraint to create clarity and force action. We discovered how to execute focused weekend sprints on marketing, sales, conversion optimization, and profitability. We then learned how to build automated systems to free up our precious time. Finally, we have reached the pinnacle of this methodology, integrating these sprints into a continuous operating rhythm that compounds growth over time. You now have the complete playbook to turn any weekend into a catalyst for a business breakthrough. It is a system for converting intention into tangible results and for building a business that grows not by accident, but by intelligent design. Thank you for taking the time to journey through the principles of the Weekend Project. We hope you found this playbook valuable and feel empowered to put these high-impact strategies into action. We believe that massive progress is just one focused weekend away. To continue learning with us and get more actionable business insights, please consider liking this video, sharing your thoughts on which project you will tackle first in the comments below, and subscribing to the Success Attraction Formula channel.